Things are going to be a bit different tonight. I hope you all came ready for some good entertainment and some good food. We're going to have a party. So, tonight is going to be a good night, a bit different because at the end of the day, it is, we are here for children.
Amen.
And now, I want you to take note who is here for children. Now, unfortunately, kiddos, a lot of times grown-ups, they don't always play nice in our sandbox. And so we do not have enough to actually do the business of the district because some people are not playing nice in the sandbox. But we are here because we want to see you. And we care about the work that you do. So we are going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And then we are going to celebrate two very important people who have done amazing work for our district. And then we're going to eat. And we have enough food for everybody. We made sure that we're providing food for everybody. We have some good old soul food. So, we will start with Hillers, bell ringers, and then I will introduce the next group after that. So let's welcome Hillers.
Hello, my name is Aiden from Miss Martin's class.
Hello, my name is Ali from Miss Martin's class.
We are from Hillers, and our principal is Dr. Soto.
We have Miss Na, we have Rinda, we have Ejiro, we have Joyce, we have Leandro, we have Saraya, we have Zoe, we have Milan, we have Matthew, we have Matsura, we have Aiden, we have Jeffrey, we have Jocelyn, we have Melanie, and we have Alanis. Our 2024 Hillers Bell Ringers.
We are here this evening to perform bell music for you and share our thoughts about Hillers.
We would like to start off with some music. We have two pieces for you. The first piece is Care of the Bells, written by Macaulay Leon Tavinch, and we have Rinda on the piano.
Here is our best winter holiday song. We saved our favorite one for you. It is Jingle Bells by John Pierpont, arranged by Martha Lynn Thompson. And we have Rinda on the piano. Kind hearts are the gardens.
I hope you enjoyed our bell performance. We will now share a poem with you that will also lead us to highlight our amazing school hillers.
Kind hearts are the gardens.
By Henry Wordsworth Longfellow.
Kind, kind hearts are the gardens.
Kind thoughts are the roots.
Kind words are the flowers.
Kind deeds are the fruits.
Take care of your garden.
And keep out the weeds.
Fill it with sunshine. Kind words and kind deeds.
How meaningful was that poem to us? Kindness is a beautiful garden, and our garden is our school. We are the seeds of kindness that flourish daily.
Our teachers and Hiller students keep out the weeds.
Along with our teachers, we are respectful to one another. We use kind words, offer help and emotional support, always, especially during the holiday season. There is no greater gift than kindness. With a simple smile, a hug, a high five, or just a hello, we make a difference.
Our school is filled with sunshine and kindness, and I wrote a poem about our school Hillers, a place of wonder, events, and culture. Pizza parties, blue and gold, a huge playground that stands out bold. Pre-K to fourth grade, this school's got it all. Kindness everywhere and bulletin boards on the wall. A huge cafeteria whose lunch aides are busy. It may look peaceful, but trust me, it gets noisy. 8:30 to 2:50, 6 hours of fun. We talk, giggle, and laugh till the day is done. Hillers, a place of wonder, events, and culture.
Our love for our school is deep and immeasurable. We plant our kindness seeds and care for them daily, especially during the holiday season. As Hiller School stars, we lead by example, so enjoy your holiday and go out there and plant your own garden of kindness. That's the best gift you can give. Have kind thoughts.
Use kind words.
Do kind deeds.
Take care of your loved ones.
Share joy.
Thank you and wish you all happy holidays.
Thank you, Hillers. So now we'll let them get settled. Oh, my. Sorry. We'll let Hillers get settled and then Fairmount. We'll let Hillers get settled. Can you hear me now? We'll let Hillers get settled and then we'll let Fairmount come up. I have to get way down. All right, now I think people can hear me now. Sorry. So we will let Hillers get settled, and then we will bring up Fairmount School. You're up.
Good evening, Superintendent McBride, board members, families, parents, our brothers and sisters from Hillard School, Dr. Soto, Mrs. Madden, our Fairmount staff and families who are here with us this evening. It is an honor and a privilege to present to you this evening our Fairmount School Band and Glee Club. Know that these students have worked very, very hard in preparing for this occasion. They've traveled through the rain and they are ready to perform. So with that said, please join me in welcoming our Fairmount School Band and Glee Club led by the one and only Mrs. DiClemente and Mr. Cubillas, band teacher. Thank you.
Today we're gonna have our first soloist. We have Samantha. She's gonna be playing a song called Country Walk. Next, we have our next soloist. We have Wilson. He'll be playing a song called Lightly Row, saxophone solo. Okay, our final ensemble we have is a clarinet ensemble. They will be playing a song called Good King Wenceslas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Boateng and Ms. Service, for your support. Thank you, Dr. McBride, Ms. Parchment, Mrs. Marks, Mr. Vickery, and all of the Board of Education. Thank you for having us tonight. We are going to be taking you to an island this winter, so we can escape the winter blues. Wonderful job, Glee Club. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations, Hillers and Fairmount. Thank you. You can go on ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Just want to just say how proud we are of our scholars. They say that a child shall lead them, and out of the mouths of babes, our scholars are teaching us, as even as adults, the importance of this season of showing kindness and giving love. And that's what it's about. And so we are so grateful for each and every one of you who came out tonight to support our scholars and all of the staff members who took the time to make this day happen. So we want to honor our leaders, all of our staff members, our teachers who sat with the students. And again, it's not easy standing up in front of us. So listen, we are tough crowds, but every time they get to show just how amazing and gifted they are. So great job for the as well as the schools, Hillers and Fairmount Elementary Schools. Thank you all so much for coming out.
All right. So now I want us to, again, because we do not have a quorum tonight, we cannot have an official meeting, but we do want to honor our students, and we do have our student member on the board who is going to not give a report, but she's going to tell us what her friends are doing at the high school.
Good night, everyone. My name is Shanika Thomas.
Speak right into the mic.
Good night, everyone. My name is Shanika Thomas, and what my friends are doing at the high school.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, today the guidance department hosted Instant Decision Day. I was one of the students that participated, and good news, I got accepted in all my colleges. Thank you, thank you. Our music department yesterday held a beautiful performance for our annual holiday choral. It was beautiful. I loved it. Our our athlete of the week is this fantastic bowler named Joey Perilli. He is our first athlete of the week by NorthJersey.com this school year. And I don't know what else. Wait, how? Well, for the holidays, I'm spending some time with my friends, having a little friendsmas. You know, it's about family and friends without the parents. That's it. So thank you. Good night.
Thank you. All right. So now, before we eat, and again, I invite everyone to stay and eat. I want to honor two very important people on our board, who this will be their last meeting with us as they are rolling off our board. And that is, first I will say, is Marlene Somerville. Miss Somerville, and I'm going to use this mic. I would normally stand up there, but it's not, they can't hear me very well. So Miss Somerville has served on our board. This is her final year of this term. And she is one, not only is she super smart, but she is absolutely a super go-getter. And she came on to this board and like a whirlwind, quite frankly. And I will tell you, for me personally, she taught me a lot about my own leadership and how I needed to learn how to adjust what I was doing to be able to work with different other leadership styles. So I am super thankful for the work that she has done, what she has taught me personally. I look forward to watching what she does. This is just one way she serves our community. She serves in many capacities. So I look forward to see what you do, Ms. Somerville, in the future. And I hope that you will continue to be in my life in other capacities. So we are thankful for you. Your plaque will be coming in at some point in the next couple of days. It's in the mail somewhere, but it will be coming in and we will get that to you. But if we can all give Ms. Somerville a big thank you and a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for thank you for the applause. I appreciate it. Scott, thank you. I mean, I definitely mean that. Serving on this board is a wonderful opportunity. These kids are phenomenal, right? They do a lot for the district. And I think that, you know, as board members, we definitely, you know, appreciate the work that they put in. Dr. McBride, I know I joked that when we started the board, like this was like a marriage. Well, I guess tonight we're divorcing, but we will still stay in touch, right? We have kids. And as any parent knows who's ever gone through a divorce, co-parenting is the key, right? So we'll still be in touch. We'll still have to take care of the kids. We'll still be keeping up. I mean, I promised Dr. McBride, no, but in all seriousness, I promised Dr. McBride when I stepped on the board, right, that when I make a commitment, when I make my word, I keep it. So it's not just leaving here tonight that we're saying that I'm parting, right? Lance and I ran on a ticket that we were talking about education excellence. And in keeping my word that I mean education excellence and that we'll always be an advocate, the Education Excellence Coalition is now a 501c4 organization, right? We converted that into an actual PAC. We will be working on behalf of the district and on behalf of the kids to try to see where we can get advocacy to do things within the district. We will be doing fundraising. We will be reaching out to different partners and different organizations to be able to get grants and benefit. Myself and my family will be sponsoring a scholarship for the kids because I firmly believe in giving back. And like I said, I put my money where my mouth is. So if I say it, I mean it, and I will make it actionable. So Dr. McBride, we will not be going away. We will be here. We made a commitment to the kids. We made a commitment to the district, and we will be sticking with it. And as a matter of fact, starting in January, I will be reaching out to you and Dr. Montesano because we have already have contact with the Trade Commission to talk about what we can do to action policies for our kids that do not want to go off to college, but they actually would like to go into a trade. So we will be getting you the list. We will be getting you all the trade organizers, and we will be talking about how we can get our kids to start from 17 when they're turning 18 to be able to roll out from here and go straight into a trade where they pay for the training, they pay for the classes, they pay for everything. So again, we have made a commitment. We are here. We are not going anywhere. So again, thank you, everybody. I definitely appreciate it. There is more to come from me, from us, and there's a lot to look forward to. So take care, get home safely, and enjoy your holidays, everyone.
All right. And so next, I want to honor Lancelot Powell. So Lance has been on the board forever, yeah, for a long time. And he was president before I was. And so I've had the opportunity to learn and grow from him and fight with him and you know, all kinds of things, because I play when I say that, but it's one of those things that we have had the opportunity to push and pull, because finding a balance to make sure that we were doing what's right for children was always the number one goal. And that's the beautiful part about Lance, is he never lost the goal. His eyes were always on the same thing. And that was children of the district. And so even when things, because boardrooms are not always easy, trust me. Even when things were complicated, trying to figure things out, the common goal was always the same. And I've learned an enormous amount from you, Lance, and I am thankful for the years. I mean, at this point, it's been years of and when I became president, he always called to check in, give me advice all the time, every week. Right, yeah, that's right, even when I didn't want it. So Lance, we are thankful for the work that you have done over the many, many years. Even before you were on the board, you came to these meetings and were advocating for children. And we know that you will do the same afterwards. So we are thankful for you, and we look forward to what's next. So thank you, Lance. And so let's give him a round of applause.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a joyous time of the year. Yeah. I must say, we are here for our children. I'm going to say that again. The only reason why we're here or sit on a school board is for our children. There's no other reason why we're here. And I am grateful and I'm very humble that I had the chance to serve. And tonight, when I looked at the kids performing tonight, I was very emotional just watching them performing. And I know that, parents, kids, were looking forward to it. And I was very well entertained. And I just want to say thank you and for all the music teachers, principals and everyone that put a lot of work into having the kids come here and perform. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Mr. Coleman. Good evening. Our former trustee, good to see you in the house. I just have a couple of words and I'll let you go. Some chapters are sad. Some chapters are happy. And some chapters are exciting. But if you never turn the page, you will never know what the next chapter is in your life or what's in store for you. When I came, I moved from Teaneck to Hackensack, so I'm transplanted into Hackensack. And, my son played sports. Thank you, Hackensack. And I would travel to other towns and I would look at their schools and their facilities. And I'm like, okay, we can do better. And I was never satisfied with what I saw. Not saying what we had was bad, but I like to see better. So I said, I'm going to get involved. I came to the meetings, like Scott said, and I decided I was going to get involved. And I'm proud, Scott, that I had a chance to work with you and other board members, but we did a lot of work together. And through our collaboration, I want you to listen carefully. We did new solar panels, new bathrooms, new locker rooms, new tennis courts. They were always flooded. Now they're beautiful. They're like Wimbledon. We have 4 new school buses. Isn't that awesome? We have our own buses. We have a new HR director. We have our African-American superintendent who is wonderful, Dr. McBride. We had a new football field, new scoreboard, painting of our bleachers, new lunchrooms, new auditoriums, new basketball floors, new lighting in our schools, upgrade to our HVAC systems, new entrance to the high school. We look like a college. Before, we weren't sure which entrance we were going into. Now, when you drive by the high school, you can attest to it. It looks fabulous. The bridge was always dark at nights. And when I drove by, I'm like, no, it's painted, new lighting, and when you drive by, it's wonderful. I could list many things that we have accomplished, but these are some of the things we have accomplished. So serving on a school board is no easy task, especially in today's troubling political climate. It has been determined to be one of the most challenging voluntary roles. Our school board members receive no financial compensation, but the reward of serving is the privilege to help shape the future of our nation by strengthening our most promising lever, which is public education. My son had a great public education in Hackensack, and I just want to say thank you for everyone who was involved in his life. It is our best help in providing equitable access to ensure all students have the skills and dispositions to lead a life of purpose and impact. I want to thank you for your confidence in electing me to the position. And like Scott said, I'm a dinosaur. I've been around the board for a very long time. It has been an honor of my life to have been a part of that work. So from the bottom of my heart, the bottom, I want to thank you, Hackensack, the community. I will continue to follow the tremendous growth of the district and I will be its most loyal and ardent supporter. Thank you for the joy. Thank you for your love. And thank you for your happiness you have given me over the last how many years. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone. And this is a time where it's a time of giving. There's many people who don't have. I'm asking, please reach out to your neighbors, family, friends, and in whatever capacity you can give someone, help. There's a lot of people. Give back, pay it forward, and help someone, because there's a lot of people out there still struggling and suffering. And make it be a time of giving and loving and caring in this holiday season. Take care of each other. Joy cometh in the morning. Thank you and good night.
All right. So we only have two things left. One is going to be, we're going to eat right now. So what I'm going to ask is that if the principals would kind of, I want to let the kids go through the line first. So if y'all would just help kind of guide them through. Parents, go eat. Everyone, yeah, the kids are maybe already eaten. Great. Perfect. Go eat, please enjoy. And then we're going to move back over, and I have a quick presentation. I ask that you would stay because it's important. This is my last night as president, and I would like, I would ask that you would stay for that. All right, let's eat. Let's get everyone's attention. So keep eating, enjoying your food. Now this, I will say, we are going to take a bit of a turn to a more serious note. This is my last night as president, so I'm going to give a president's report. Can I turn this? Well, yeah. Okay, I don't need any heckling. Oh, I'm gonna do that part. All right. So I want to thank you, one, for coming tonight. I want to thank the children for doing an amazing job. You are the reason that I have done this for the last 6 years. I will say I have not missed one meeting in 6 years or one committee meeting in 6 years. As a matter of fact, I flew home from a vacation and flew back the next day because this is what I have done for 6 years. Because the kids are who I love. And you will meet my family later, but I have 6 children that I adore. I have 6. Calm down. So Lance, a lot, gave some of the things that have happened over the last 6 years. And I'm not going to bore you with all of the details, but I'm going to show you just a few of the things. You see the turf. A lot of you remember what was there. This changed the landscape of that part of our town. That's the weight room. You see the solar panels. We have what we call an ESIP project, Energy Savings Improvement Program. That is saving us large amounts of money. If you remember, there was a $170 million referendum that did not pass, but we have gotten many of those projects completed. millions of dollars of those projects completed because we have done out-of-the-box thinking to figure out how to make that happen. And part of that is from our energy savings improvement program. That's the fitness center. New entrance to the high school. You see all the things. I'll let you read those things. A couple of highlights. One of the things that was noticed when I came in that is standard in most districts is most districts have maintenance departments. We were spending literally on simple things like electricians. We were doing state bids. We were spending over $1 million on simple things that a standard electrician could do. We hired a team of people now that we literally pay a salary and benefits and for whatever that is, as opposed to over $1 million in very simple work. Not simple in the actual work, but what we don't have to pay that amount of money for. I couldn't do it, but also we have now, if you notice, the grounds are much more beautiful than you've ever seen them. That is because we have hired people who focus specifically on that. We have really taken a hard look. We hired Harry Ruiz, who is our safety and security coordinator. We have increased the number of officers that we have. We have built security vestibules and all of the things to make sure that our children and staff are safe. We hired Dr. McBride. Dr. McBride is a true instructional leader. If we want to get to where we are going, this is the individual that will get us there. We have to trust him. We have now evidence-based reading programs, and other programs are coming. Mentoring programs, the list goes on and on and on. By tenfold. That's just what I could think of. I started to go back through the agendas for the last 6 years, but you heard I have 6 kids, right? I don't have time. Here is probably 3 of the things that I am most proud of. Oh, I did not say that. Let me back up. One of the things that the whole reason that I ran, one of my crew broke his foot. I was mad one day because he was out of school for like 6 weeks. No, lies. Lies. 5 months. And he had to do home instruction and we finally even got into a boot. And he still couldn't go to school because he was unsteady on the steps. The ADA laws were passed 30 plus years ago now. And we still had 2 schools that were not ADA compliant. And former boards they would just say, well, we are grandparented in, like it was just an excuse. Well, that's not what that means. That means until you can do something about it, you should be actively working on it. So now I knew that would never be done in time for my child. That was not the point. The point was that it should be done because I started thinking, what about people who are employed there? What about the parents and grandparents or caregivers that want to go see their baby in the play? They can't get in the building. This makes no sense. And so that's what started me even thinking about running for the board. And so we have elevators at Fairmount and Jackson, which both desperately needed to have the ADA accommodations. So here are 3 things that I am proud of and what I believe are the values of not only this district, but this town. So in the first, you see it is the land acknowledgement. If you ever come to our meetings, you'll even hear me read a land acknowledgement at the beginning of every meeting. The very name of this town is Hackensack. And we sit on the lands of people who were taken off this land. And so it's a way, and we had a day that was one of the most beautiful days that I've ever been a part of, because it wasn't just a moment that we had where we did a froofy thing at central office. It was a day of learning at all of our schools as well, because not only did we have it, I guess you call it simulcast or whatever you want to call it, but it was fed to all the schools, but we had people from the tribe that of the land that we sit on there in the schools, teaching, talking, working with, being a part of that moment while we were doing our froofy thing here. It was really a beautiful day. And then the Chief Perry, wrote this specifically for our school district. And it was memorialized in a monument that stays there. It's beautifully lit up at night. And so we acknowledge that we live and work and learn on this land that is not ours. Then in the second, you see that it says it's the resolution where we fly the all-inclusive pride flag year-round for the LGBTQ community, and it's inclusive of all people. And we fly it year-round. We were the first in the state of New Jersey to do that. And then the last, when George Floyd was murdered, I had a conversation with Ms. Parchment, and this is what was born, the way that our district would work on anti-racism and how we would put our money where our mouth is and the work that we would continue to do. Those are the values of our district. So what makes Hackensack special? You see that says the Margot mentality. Well, there's a very special lady here named Margot Calderon. She was one of my many kids, first grade teachers. So his name is John Presley, and when we moved here from Mississippi, we all have, obviously at that point, I'll never lose it, but at that point, he still had his little Southern accent. And it wasn't that she just accepted his little difference, because look, I'm not losing my little accent. It won't happen. John Presley was his little quirky self from Mississippi, full of energy, full of life, had crazy stories. She didn't just accept him. She loved him and she celebrated him. And she, like, her mentality, the Margot mentality for me is celebrating every part of who John Presley was. It wasn't about that he was not from here. It didn't matter that he didn't come from Hackensack. It didn't matter that he wasn't born and raised in the North. What mattered is that he was hers. That right there, if we can all take on the Margot mentality, then this district will soar. What also makes Hackensack so special are the students. We have this beautiful group of humans that come every day to learn. They are fun. They are excited. They are sponges, and they are watching everything we do. Everything we do. They are listening to everything we do or say. They are smart. And they deserve the very best that we have to offer. And that is also the very best example that we have to offer. Our teachers and administrators. I have a list. Now, I'm going to name some people. They say that is dangerous. But I don't care because this is my last night to be the president. So I'm going to do what I want to do. So I will say, and some people will say this is bad. I don't care. Take note who I'm saying and take note who I'm not. Jimmy Montesano is a fantastic leader. He can rally a team together and keep that team strong for years. Patty Lozano can run a building. She can do the work. Bob Greenwood, everybody loves Bob. He's just a good human. Celso King, he can connect with kids like nobody else. Donna Petronwall, she's just a brilliant woman. She is just brilliant. Marcela Moncloa, I have never seen anybody that is so dedicated and works so hard. Mr. Sass, he is new to our district. I hope that everybody will take the Margot mentality with him and use that mentality. But y'all, he's good. He is good. Miss Service, she was somewhere here. There she is. From the day that you were hired over at Fairmount, because my kids went to Fairmount, so I always kind of keep an eye over there. You've been nothing but a rock star. Mr. Boateng, wherever he went, I will tell you, he's another one that's didn't come from Hackensack necessarily. And he had a hard road to hoe at the beginning. But I'm telling you, he hung in there. And the kids are better for it. Dr. Judy Soto. If you want to see somebody fight for students and who will go head to head at all 4'4", however tall you are. Sorry, I don't know how tall she is. But she will go head to head with anybody for however long it takes, because she is the epitome of what it means to love and protect children. And it doesn't matter if it's her job that's up, it doesn't matter, because she is here for children and she will hold whoever accountable, because it's about kids. Ms. Singh, our business administrator, I've been in about 1,692 meetings with her. And every time, in one way or another, she brings up children. Ms. Marks, I am thankful that I've gotten to know you on this journey, because I know from the roles that you have been in since I have been here, you've stayed centered on the goal of loving children. In adversity and good times, your goal has been centered, and I'm thankful. Then we have people like Rich Delvecchio, who I've never quite seen anybody get so excited about science, but he does. And that excitement bleeds all like it just oozes out of him, and that makes other people love it. Miss Parchment, your love for kids, your love for making sure that all people are included, rivals nobody's. And I'm thankful that you're in this district to make sure that we keep our eye where it should be, because you are a part of making sure our values are here. Then we have people like Mary Jones and all of her. Sometimes there's some of her chaos makes us crazy, but there's something about what she does that instills a love for theater. My 22-year-old is here, and she's still, today we talked about her love. And it's not just being on stage. My daughter never loved being on stage. It was the backstage stuff, the stage management part. She's, all of my kids, which we are a theatrical family, trust me, but they all love theater. You have people like Miss Marr. All of my kids love Miss Marr. People like Miss Panuccio, who I didn't think we were going to make it through Miss Panuccio's class, but we did. And she challenged our kids, but they're better for it. Mr. Ziegler, he was a life changer for some of our kids. Then we have people like Miss Clemente Romano. She loved our child so deeply that we never worried about him. Matter of fact, we worried about her when he had to leave and go to middle school. And I can remember times when she was sick and had to miss the first day of school, but at 7 a.m, she was FaceTiming him, making sure that he was prepped for the day. That is keeping kids in the focus. Then you have people like Mr. King, the other Mr. King, 4th grade, Walter King, who has that energy that makes kids feel like leaders. He does something that makes kids feel great about themselves. And then you have his wife across town who will fight for kids. And then you have the other Miss King. I know it's getting confusing with the Kings, right? Then you have the other Miss King, Kim King, who is not afraid to speak up when it's about kids. And that's what it takes. We fight for kids. That's what we do. We are about children. Then you have people like Officer Suarez, who is, he's here tonight, over there, who treats kids like they're his. And that's what you want. You want kids coming to school knowing that their officer loves them like their own, because that's who they'll look for when they don't feel safe. And you have people like Miss Berry. Everybody knows Miss Berry probably. Miss Berry, she is fun. She's no nonsense. She gets the job done. She will jump into anything to do whatever is needed. She loves kids. My list goes on and on and on, y'all. But what I'm trying to point out is we have people in this district that are about children. And those are the people that we need to make sure that we continue to hire. I'm driving to a point. And then finally, our community support. We have people here tonight. We have the Victor Geddeses of the world, the Bridget Ruckers, who sometimes we don't like what they say, but it keeps us on point. It keeps us moving in the right direction. What makes Hackensack so hard? This is my favorite part. Boing. The politics. What keeps us from moving forward? So we're going to have a left column and a right column. Now I'm fixing to get, this is where it's going to get a little bit more pointed. Politics. Agendas. Not moving from the campaign mindset to the board mindset. Once we finish a campaign, y'all, we become one board. There should be no sides. If you notice tonight, one group's not here, one group is. On October 31st, I got 6 kids. Y'all know where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be getting ready getting 6 kids ready for trick-or-treating, right? But where was I? With the same people you see tonight. Because we had something that had to be turned, we had to call a special meeting because it had to be turned in per the state. It wasn't me calling a special meeting because I felt frisky. It was because the state required it. But we had one group didn't come, one did. Wasting resources, both financial and human. What do I mean by that? Just today, we have one board member who says this is an illegal board meeting for some crazy reason. It was not an illegal board meeting. Let me be clear. We've had all the legal guidance. Mr. Eveland, who is our attorney, he can verify that per all the state regulations. It was not an illegal board meeting, but because they are intentionally stalling until January till they have 7 people who is the full majority. They created hours and hours and hours and hours, at least 8 or 9 hours of work for Mr. Eveland today that we pay at, and this is not about you, sir, that we pay $170 an hour for. Think about $170 an hour times 8, and think about what that could have done for, I'm just looking at Dr. Soto's school today. Or Miss Del Vecchio, I see her right. What could that have done for your classroom today? The students' resources are being drained by the board. That happens regularly, all of the time. And when I say human resources, what I mean by that, Dr. McBride spent most of the day on the phone with me. Lydia spent half the day on the phone with me and with Mr. Eveland. And we spent half the day having to deal with that. They have a job to do that deals with students. They have to keep their eyes on the prize because we have students that matter. And when they are dealing with board drama, then they are not able to do the work that they have to do, that we pay them to do. So we are wasting financial resources and human resources. The blue and gold mentality. That's what I'm driving. That's my list of people. Most of the people that I referred to are not from here. I need everybody to have the Margot mentality. It does not matter if you are blue and gold, if you were born and raised and graduated from Hackensack Public School District. If you did, God bless. That's fantastic. My children have. She's graduating from college this year. Thank God. Because I can't afford her. But let me tell you, already got a job. But let me tell you, that is not what makes her great. Having graduated from Hackensack High School, what makes her great are the people that instilled the lessons in her. And that is me, that is her mother, that are the teachers that I talked about, and they're not all from Hackensack. So the blue and gold mentality, of which you're going to be seeing starting January, because the people that have just been elected, that's their big platform, is that we are blue and gold, that's who we're going to hire. And what I want to encourage you, we have to hire the best, the most highly qualified. It doesn't matter where they come from. That is who has to be hired. Now, if all things are equal and they happen to have come from Hackensack High School, then yes, great. Hire Hackensack. I'm not saying don't hire Hackensack graduates. I'm saying hire the best. And if that is the Hackensack graduate, then hire them. But hire the best for our children. I cannot even imagine doing anything other. It makes no sense. Margot mentality, people. BO members who do not do the work. I have a real job. Half of the board, including the superintendent, says I don't have a real job. I have a real job. I'm a chaplain. And I'm an executive that administers a very large part of the church, not a church, the denomination of United Methodists. I got a big job. But I spend more hours doing this than I do my actual job, of which I spend until 1 a.m. doing, because I'm babying a bunch of grown people who will not do the work. It takes work to serve on a board. Anybody, and I want you to keep your eye out, people. Anybody that gets up here and says that they didn't have access to something, if their lips are moving and saying that, they are lying. We have access to everything. We have something called the board drive. Every single lawsuit, which is a bunch, everything we have, everything, every dime we spend, every financial document, every HIB report, literally everything that we need is in a drive that we all have access to. You just have to go to it. They even, Miss Marks, Miss Parchment, Lydia, they even, when we have to do certain things, they even link it for us. Here is the whatever curriculum agenda. Follow the link below. You don't even have to do that much work. I mean, they simplify it for us. But instead, they play games. We have people who don't even look at the agenda before they get here. You have to do the work because our kids are worth it. They deserve the excellence. Let me try that again. Excellence starts here. Union meetings instead of board meetings. We have got to stop allowing these meetings to be union meetings. The same people get up here every time. They're all union leaders. We very rarely have parents and concerned citizens that get up here and talk. We have the same cast of characters every month. Now, here's the more disturbing part, is that the union meets with Dr. McBride before, a day or two before, correct? Before each meeting. So anything that comes out in this meeting has already been brought to the attention of the superintendent where it should go. There is a chain of communication that happens. That should happen. So bringing it to the board does nothing. There's nothing the board can do about it. It breaks the chain of communication, and we're not going to do anything about it because we can't. There's a process that has to be followed. Even if it's a grievance, fine. But there's a chain that it has to follow. It doesn't get to us until like level 3 or 4. But it is nothing more than grandstanding for your entertainment or theirs. I'm not sure. But allowing it, and look, I'm part of the problem because I allowed it. Because the excuse is, well, we're Hackensack residents. But union business should not be dealt with here. Here's what I think you need to be looking for as the new board comes in. Because it will be a majority, at least 7 people. What they're going to do is you're going to see Mr. Evelyn, they will get rid of him very quickly. Sorry, love you. He's like, I'm quitting, don't worry. Auditor, they'll have an auditor lined out, and they'll have a new risk manager lined out. Now, here's the problem with that. Now, they have the right to do it, but they don't work with those people. You need to ask the people who work with those people day in and day out. That is the superintendent. That is Ms. Singh. Those are all of the central office people who do the work with those people every day. And it's not easy changing attorneys. It's not easy. We have so many lawsuits that picking up in the middle of it, it's a nightmare. And it's expensive. Then okay. So then you're going to see, after that, then we'll start switching to finding new vendors. So I'm just saying, just keep an eye out, y'all. Voting no on personnel decisions. I just want everybody to understand how this works. The board, you should very rarely see the board voting no on a personnel decision. Dr. McBride can come to us and say, I would like to hire a communications director. Okay, we talk about that. We put up our HR director puts up a posting, or what do you call it before that? A job description, and we create all that. We can say, yes, we think that is in line with the vision of what should be happening. We are going to approve this job title. We're creating the job. We have no say in the person. He can hire whoever he wants to. We hire one human. We are responsible for one human. That is the superintendent. Beyond that, he gets to pick whoever he wants to for any job. Unless we have direct evidence that somebody is a murderer, and we have to have actual evidence, then there's nothing we can do. So if you see people voting no on personnel, that means they are strong-arming the superintendent, and somebody needs to be filing some charges. I'm hurrying. They're micromanaging the district. Strong-arm the superintendent. You will see a shift in district values. Mark my words, the Columbus Day BS is coming back. Mark my words, they're going to try to get the Columbus Day back on the calendar. It would not surprise me if they try to take down flags. Just mark my words. Watch out for the values of our district. They are the values of our district. The union and the BOE connect the dots. Watch for the connections. Only in this town can union leadership run campaigns and be major parts of campaigns. Connect the dots. Okay, now this part is a disclaimer. Are there any children in the room? Mine have had to actually experience what you're about to see. There are images that could bother children, And there are words that are going to be, could bother children for real. So I don't want your children to have to experience, no, that's my child. I don't want anything to bother the children. Okay, so that's Anubis. That's my littlest. So all of this has happened. All the things that you have seen go on that we have accomplished in this district. But it has not been easy. And this blue and gold mentality and making sure that me and my family have felt very unwelcome. Not just from, and let me promise you, by and large, we are loved in this town, and we know it. It is a very small group, mainly of the people that you see in their cohorts that are not here, and union leadership. But what you're going to see is what my family has had to endure. Now, this is what I expect to get as a board president. School is for learning subjects only. It is not a perverted nightclub. You are producing Sodom and Gomorrah reprobates instead of, I gotta turn more towards it, of respectful members of society. You perverts are the reason this country is rotting. I expect that. Okay, I can handle that. I don't take much offense to, okay, whatever. That's a Tuesday in my world. Now, this came to both me and Mr. Powell. I have trashily redacted the names. I did not do a very good job. Everything's redacted and the gender so that no dots can be connected, hopefully. So I am sending this letter to inform you of blank and how blank is having the blank person who works and operates the BOE meeting in your school district spying on the district emails. Blank is evil, disrespectful person as well as a detriment to our district. You need to have a plan in place of how you will exposure and bring ethic charges upon your blank. If this continues, I will exposure all of the wrongs within the central office. Please remember blank is watching you both as well. Concern community. Now, again, okay, that's a Wednesday. Now, the lovely HEA Muppets, which is a disgusting, and again, I'm pretty confident who this is, but making fun of, making me into a Muppet, which by the way, I have this made into a magnet on my refrigerator. If you like it, I love it. I'm not embarrassed of my hearing. So they put my hearing piece on there because that's classy, right? But this is what has happened from some of the educators, not here for children. Again, it's a very small group of people, very small group. Notes sent home in some of our children's backpacks to get to their dad. Statements said like, you go tell your dad, messages sent home for me. Classes, like statements made about me when they were on Zoom with Abby, my oldest. And then statements directly, and I'll call this one out because it's on public record, from union leadership, the union president, saying over and over, this keeps falling on deaf ears. You're talking to a deaf person while they're talking about how this person is a sexist and excuse me, ableist language. Like, let's not start calling out people's until we're all together. Now, this is one of the more disturbing letters. Now, I'm not going to read the whole letter, but this is a concerned citizen of Hackensack. Now, let me say, this is actually common for elected officials. The police deal with this a lot, actually. But I have redacted my children's social security numbers that they have found. I have also, so you see their names and their birthdays. Now, Abby's birthday is actually December 8th, and the only place it was wrong was in Genesis, which is from our school. Now, they accused me of a fraudulent last name. Well, the name that they found in whatever search they did was Vickery. Well, we hyphenated our last name later in our marriage. So our last, so that's what they're talking about. And they talked about basically what they're accusing me of and what they're going to turn in as ethics charges is the fact that I have referenced our 5 children. At the time we had 5. If you've not noticed, all of my children are not biological. But I referenced our 5 children because we had not adopted them at that point. And every time that we referenced our 5 children, they have that on public record, and they were going to turn that in for ethics charges as being fraudulent. Now, that same concerned citizen also, because at the time, and I have permission from my children, they were in foster care. And we were required by the state during COVID to get the free lunch from the schools. All foster families were. So the same concerned people also snapped a picture of me waiting in line and posted it all over Facebook that I was stealing school resources. Now, also accused me of donating to Hudson County whoever's. I will, full disclaimer, I've only donated to Pete Buttigieg $5 ever for politics. Accused me of laying turf, my pet project of laying turf over chemicals that were going to kill our children. Now, we can call it my pet project, fine. It was something I initiated. But I'm the only person in the meeting that started with the board. Mr. Powell was a huge part of this, that took the initiative to remediate the problem. Our kids have been playing on that field for years. It was just a dust bowl. We remediated the problem. The chemicals are gone. And we check every year to make sure. And my favorite line, I was told to go back to the sticks where I came from. And one of our current board members asked me all the time, is that how y'all do it in crooked letter, humpback, humpback? That's how apparently a thing how you spell Mississippi or something. So now, this is from a former board member of when I spoke out in a very professional way. They told me that you are disgusting and a despicable human. You have humiliated me and my family for the last time. My prayer is that your brain tumor, that's what took my hearing, grows so your fat wife has to wipe your vegetable ass. Molly, wait, that's her. Has to wipe your vegetable ass for the rest of your life. This isn't over. That's classy, right? Now this is Mr. Oates over here in the corner, former trustee. The only thing that Ms. Harris has actually done on the board was to get him off. You will be taken out by vote or by force. Public enemies. And so that's what came to our home. Now here's another fun fact. Our children were asked at school, not any teacher's fault. Let me, full disclosure, not any teacher's fault. All of them were like, they Googled their parents' name or something, and It was a project. This is what came up. So, I had one that had to deal with some, he didn't know. We kept this from our kids, obviously. Now, we're almost there, and then we'll be out of here in 5 minutes, I promise. Dr. McBride, for the first time, I was asked to address the entire body of people. The whole idea was, he asked, what is your why? Meaning, why do you do the work? So I do the work for a lot of reasons. One, I was a special education teacher for many years of a severe, profound, community-based special education classroom. It's it was what got me up every day. Just before I had kids, don't worry. I'm a special education advocate. I'm an advocate for children in general. My nephew, who is now passed away, had a terminal type of muscular dystrophy. He was in my classroom in Mississippi. They let him come because he was not an in-district student, but they let him come because they knew he would die. And then my family. We have all types of children in my family. You'll see my youngest in just a minute. He was born blind with autism, cerebral palsy, and he has a shunt because he was born with hydrocephalus. He's the joy of our house. But this is what a small group of educators felt it was appropriate to be texting back and forth. So, my kids, if y'all will come up here. WTF is James Vickery talking about? He is making no sense. Maybe he was the student in the class he is talking about instead of the teacher. His why is a dead kid. Talk about my nephew. Real inspiration. I can't imagine this idiot as a teacher. I can't understand him. How did a bunch of, I'm not even going to say, I can't even imagine saying that word. These are again, small, and let me be clear. I know who these people are. I guess Vickery thinks flashing up a picture of his ugly kids will get this town to like him. Poor bumpkin. That's just another, you're not from here. So stupid. This is the picture that I flashed up. Well, my family is beautiful to me. And I have served this community with everything that I have in me. And I will not let this small group torture my children any longer. So I formally resign as of now, and I will turn my attention to my children who deserve me. Now, just like Lance and Marlene, I'm not leaving. I will still be here. Now, I'm not going to be coming to meetings and harassing the board, but I will still be on the special ed task force that has been created, because that is where I have expertise. And let me be clear, I have expertise. Now, let me tell you, I don't like to toot my own horn, but toot toot. There is nobody that is coming onto this board or that is on this board that can do the work or that is willing to put in the time and energy and passion that I have. Keep your eyes open, hold them accountable, because our kids are worth it, including the kids that are not from here. Keep the Margot mentality. I beg of you. Thank you. Good night.
My name is Bridget Rucker. Some people know me, some people don't. But for me sitting in that seat and seeing those comments, those people who type that have no character, no morals, no compass whatsoever. They are weak because they would have never, ever said that to your face. And if you would be so kind to tell me who those people are, I will make it my business to step to them and say it to their face. How dare you talk about somebody's family? How dare you talk about somebody's disability? I just don't understand.